everybody, welcome to another Rick's Picks. Today I'm going to be doing my review of, boom, the Ghostbusters Plasma Series Ecto-Mobile by Hasbro. Now, Hasbro actually did two Haslabs for this particular Ecto-1. They did the standard series, which I got, which is designed to look like the Ecto-1 from the original Ghostbuster movie. And then they did a deluxe series where you also had parts to make it look like the Ecto-1 from Ghostbusters 2. And also it came with the Ghostbuster 2 figures. So they're all in the darker colors with the slime guns and what have you. So unfortunately, I did not get the deluxe one. I got the standard one just because of the factor. For me personally, the standard works better for me because I always liked the look of the original Ecto-1. I wasn't too big into the look for Ecto-1 and Ghostbusters 2. So this is the one that I went with, and this is going to be the one that I'm going to be reviewing. So with that being said, the first thing I want to do is let you all know about my membership program. So for $2 a month, you get a lot of really cool stuff like deleted scenes, behind the scenes, and a lot more stuff that I'm thinking up as we go. So without any further ado, roll that intro. All right, so here it is in box. I love the packaging to this. This looks really cool. So you got this piece that straps around it. So you got Ecto-1 here, your age restriction, Ghostbusters, the Plasma Series Ecto-Mobile, Hasbro. You got what looks to be like a toolbox set up behind it, wires, ectoplasm, wrenches, and so forth. All right, we'll spin it around this way. On this side, basically it looks like the side of the cabinet. All right, come around to the back here. This looks like to be the back of the toolbox. All right, and it shows some of the stuff that comes with it. All right, and your legal. All right, spin it around this way. Basically the same thing as the other side. All right, and then you got your top. All right, so you got a road streak here, some notes. You got a picture of the ghost from the library, some rust and so forth. And then underneath you got the bottom and some legal. So with all that being said, let's open it up and see what it's about. All right, so first we're going to start off with Louis Telly. Now, we're going to go through his points of articulation. So, his head does move. All right. Get a shoulder joint with a swivel, an elbow joint, and you do get a wrist joint. All right. Get this other arm up. He does have a joint here at the hips. He has a thigh joint with a swivel, a knee joint. All right. And he does have an ankle joint. All right. So now get him back into position here. So let's look at him up close. So first off, the head sculpt's pretty nice looking. I do like the head sculpt. I kind of wish that they would have gave him glass for his glasses. Give it a better, realistic look. So all it really looks like is that he's wearing frames. So something that would indicate that they actually look like glass would really have looked really nice on him. Especially for, what we paid for this set. You'd think they would do something like that. All right. But other than that, I really like the head sculpt. It definitely looks like Rick Moranis. So I will give him that. You work your way on down. He has the Spangler name on his outfit because I guess that's whose jumpsuit he took. All right, you can see all the cool stuff here. I like how they actually added in the hose here. That looks really nice on him. I do like that. All right, then you come around this side. You got a spot for your PK meter. All right, And then you got a radio here. You can't take that out. Bring his arm down. All right. You have the Ghostbusters 2 logo. You can see the gloves, the elbow pads. All right. Come around to the back. Not a whole lot going on there. Come here. You can see the continuation of that hose. Some other gear hanging off of his belt. So for the most part, he isn't that bad of a looking figure. I don't mind his overall look. So let's look at what he comes with. So he comes with the PKE meter. All right. Now the arms don't move, so they're in a permanent state of up. Oops. Sorry about that. I wish they could go down. That would have been really nice. All right. Next, he comes with the trap. Trap don't look too bad. All right. Spin around this way. Front. I would have liked a cord for it, though. That would have been nice. You know, that's like an important bit of detail that these figures don't come with. And the bottom is completely hollow. All right. Next, you got your pack, which is pretty decently detailed. I like a lot of the detail. Though I do think if they're going to give them the red spot, they should at least have it in all 4 holes or don't have it. It looks kind of off. Just having one random spot there. All right, but the pack looks pretty cool. I don't have any issues with the overall look to this. And then you have your neutron wand here, which obviously will connect to the pack. Not a lot going on with this. All right. And then you also have your proton stream here. All right. I actually like how this looks. I like how they have all the blue around the red. I think that looks really nice. I like that a lot. So let's see how well all this fits on him. So first, let's start with the PKE meter. All right. Let's open up this hand. And opens up pretty easily. All right. And let's do the trap too while we're at it. Have him hold the trap. All right. So both of these work well with him. No issues. I'm a little concerned about the trap because right here wants to move, but it seems to be all right. So just be cautious of that. You do get some, weird movement in there. PK meter looks good. Probably even look better if I had to turn the right way. But like I said, the arms don't come down, so no matter what you do with it, the arms will be up. And normally I wouldn't matter, but when you go to put this on his belt here, like it's supposed to be, they're just up. So it kind of looks weird having it hanging off of his belt with the arms up. And once again, I don't want to harp on this too much, but for the price we paid for this, you think they would at least figure out a way to make those go down. So now let's get the pack on them. All right. So this comes up around the shoulder here. And then up over the head. All right. Plugs into his back. And onto the side here. Eventually. All right, I don't want to hook on. Hold on. There it goes. Okay, got it on. All right, so the pack is on. Get the wand. All right, put this in his hands here. All right, so that worked out pretty well. Up here on the grip. Let's see if I can maneuver this in. No, I'm going to have to open up this hand a little bit. And the nice thing about these figures is the hands do open up pretty easily. So, boom. All right. Get him back on his stand here. So there you go. He does have the wand in his hand. And of course, you can maneuver it and change it however you want. All right. Let's get the stream on there. All right. So there you go. He has the stream on there with no issues. All right. And of course, it does hook onto his backpack. So when you pull this off of here, put this on here like this. All right. So it also hooks on to the back with no issues. I think I would have, while we're looking at the Neutron one here, I would have liked to have seen some gauges and stuff on here too. Like just a little extra paint line of a line of, like, you know, the power indicator and stuff. So I really would have liked to have seen a little bit more detail onto that pack. All right, so next we're going to look at the two ghosts. So the two ghosts is obviously Slimer and then the Librarian. So we're going to look at Slimer first. All right. He has this clear little stand that he sits on, which is pretty nice. He does have some points of movement. So he has, let's spin around this way. He has like this, I guess you would call it an elbow joint and a wrist joint. So you do get some movement, not a whole lot. But let's look at him up close. I do like the face sculpt. I feel like it really, really captures the look from the movie. All right. You got a big old butt. All right, bring it back around into the front. So he looks pretty cool. I do like the overall look to him. But we'll put him aside. And next is your Librarian. Now, right off the cuff, I love the translucent look to her. I really like that a lot. I think that looks really cool. So her head does move. All right. Get a shoulder joint. But you get no swivel in there, so you only get an up and down with it. Get an elbow joint and a wrist joint. All right. Now this arm comes to this way. Be pointing at you. And then, get a joint there. And she does come with a book, which is kind of cool because they do give her the Tobin Spirit Guide here. All right. And then look at it from the inside. All right. And back around here. So she can hold the book fairly easily. And she can be reading. All right, so the first thing we're going to work on with this is putting it together. Now, it does come with stickers. So here's the sticker pack here. I already added some of the more important ones on, such as the Ghostbuster logo on each door and the back door, and a couple on the top. Now, as a collector, I'm pretty good with putting stickers on. I've been putting stickers on toys since, I was a little kid. When I used to get like my G.I. Joes and what have you, vehicles, you added your own stickers. Now, and you're probably going to hear me say this a lot in this video. Because of the price of this thing, you would think some of these stickers would already be added, like the Ghostbuster logo. Yeah, it's an easy sticker to put on, but still, the same with the license plates. The license plates are stickers. But now here's the fun part. So like on the canopy here, get these little stickers here. All right. For somebody like me who's been always doing it, they ain't that bad to put on. If somebody who's not really, good with putting on stickers and stuff, these would be a real pain in the rear to put on. So that would be an issue for somebody who isn't, really good at doing stuff like that. So I feel like for what we all paid for this, you shouldn't have to put on stickers like that. All right. And let's start getting into assembling this. So the top is off so we could get onto the inside. They do give us directions with this. All right. And this thing got a lot of parts to put together on this. Look at that. So let's start with the inside. All right. Put this over here. You have two pieces that go on the inside. So you have a phone. All right. So here's a little phone here. Not a lot of detail to it, but it is there. Let's hold it above the car so you can see it a little bit better. All right. And that goes right on the side here. So when you turn it this way, trying to get that angle right, it should go right next to the chair here. So let's open up the door. Let's see if we can get it through an open door. So spin it around this way. You can see right here where the phone would hook in. All right. Remember, folks, this was before cell phones, so I could see a lot of this being a pain to put together. This already is starting to become a pain. All right. So there's that. Boom, part hooks in there. So as you can see, the phone is on. All right. Wasn't that bad to get on. The next part that goes on the inside is this little radio piece here. So you have this here. All right, with your CB. That's going to hook up on the top here somewhere. Actually, I think it hooks on here. Yes. So you look here. You have this little peg here. Boom. Your CB hooks up on there. All right. So that's everything that's supposed to be assembled on the inside. All right. Boom. All right. So now that we got that done, let's put our canopy back on and start putting together all the stuff for the outside. All right. All right, why ain't that on the way it should? Alright, for some reason, this ain't going on the way it should. Probably because of that little CD piece, I'm thinking. So you got your radio. There it goes. Alright. Alright, so now you got your dome back on. That goes on pretty easily. Alright. So now we're going to try to assemble everything that's on this side of the car. Alright, so first off, you got your ladder. Alright. That hooks up here. Alright, so a ladder just sits like that with no issues. Now remember, this setup is for the first Ghostbuster movies. They haven't given me the Ghostbuster 2 figures or the setup for Ghostbusters 2 yet. So this is only for the first movie. Right, this is this piece. So when I do the second video, we'll be looking at the Ghostbuster 2 stuff. Alright. And this hooks in like that. And this comes up here. Alright. Boom. That went on there pretty easily. Actually, while we got it sitting like this, let's put on the rear lights. So let's spin her around this way here. And we'll put the rear lights on. Alright. That's easy enough. What else are we still doing on this side? We got your rear lamps. Alright. Alright. I think it's this one. Alright, so that one I believe goes in here like this. There you go. Okay. And there's a little antenna. Alright, so this goes in behind the lamp. Just like that. Alright, so the cord for this side is right here. I like the fact that they actually use real wire for that. That's really nice. I do like that. So this one, go on here like this. Alright. Is it this one? No, this is the wrong one. Fuck. Alright. Where does this hook on to? Well, according to this, it's supposed to just sit like that. Don't make any sense because it doesn't bend that way. Okay, well, we'll leave that like that for right now because I'm sure there's going to be a way to hook it up. There's better be a way to hook this up. All right, because that won't look right just sitting like that. All right, so next we got the windshield wipers. So here's this one. Right. All right, there's that one. And that one. So there's your windshield wipers. All right, moving back around to this side now. We got this cord here. That goes like that. All right. Got this old plug. I'm guessing this is the gas tank. All right, so that hooks in there. Gotta hook this back up. There we go. You got this mirror here. All right, so that's on as well. All right. Next, let's start working with this stuff up top. All right, so you got this. Hooks in right here. All right. Got this piece here that works in right here. All right. And then you got this. All right. goes up here on the back, just like that. All right. So that looks to be all the assembling of this at this point in time. So it wasn't that big of a problem getting everything on there. Still a little iffy about these. I'm sure there's got to be a way to make them hook onto something. That's probably the whole point of this hook. But it is all there. All right, so now that we got this thing fully put together, let's take a really good look at this. So first off, this is this side here. I love how this looks. Now the wires, what you're supposed to do is just bend them, and they'll just bend into shape. Me personally, I just hooked them into the top here. That way it holds them in place and you don't have any issues with them. But they are supposed to just fit loosely. But, you know, that's what that is. I like that they actually add the tint to the windows. I think that looks really nice. I like that a lot. Love the details to the wheels and what have you. I like the mirrors. All right. Come around to the front here. All right. Love the detail to the front. The front looks nice. But here's a spot that I do have a issue with. So when you tilt it up, there's supposed to be two vents here. They're not part of the hood. They're actually stickers that you put on there. And me personally, two stickers sitting here doesn't look nice at all. And I'm going to say it again. So repeat after me. For what we paid for, we should have got real vents on here, not just a couple of stickers. So I'm not happy with that part. All right. Spin it around this way. You get this side. So you got, you know, your logo here. You got your ladder. You have this part that fits in here. And then you look at it from the top. You can see all the gear and everything that's on the hood. On the roof. That looks really nice. I like how all that looks. Come around to the back here. All right, you got your classic setup. You got the Ecto-1, license plate, which was a sticker that you have to put on. All right. So I like all this detail. And then underneath, look at it from underneath. You have, some nice detail under here. And you have where your battery's supposed to go. Now you can hook a power cord to this. So if you want to run it instead of off of a battery, you want to run it off of electric, you can. But the cord does not come with it. So that's something you have to buy on your own, which, once again, for the price we paid for this, I think it should have came with a cord. I'm sure Hasbro could afford a little cord that could come with this. So that's a quick overlook of the Ecto-1. All right, so let's get a good look under this hood. So you pop the hood up. You get to see the engine. You got your hose up there. You got the hoses on it. You got the, engine components. Hell, you can even see the suspension under there, which is actually really nice. I do like that. So I do like the detail that they did put to the engine compartment. So let's get a really good look at this inside. You got all this stuff here. Come around. You got a nice little computer set up there. All right. You got some gear here. You have two chairs here where you could have two Ghostbusters sit. So this one actually folds up. Now you got a second chair. You have that phone that you saw me connect earlier. All right. Then you come to the inside here. You can see the dashboard. Even got the radio. You have, the dash gear and what have you. I don't think I could get my phone low enough to see. Yeah, there you go. So now you can see all the gear in there as well. All right. So there's a lot of really cool detail on the inside of this. All right, so first off, we're going to look at the lights on this, the lights and sound. So all the lights and sounds are controlled, bring it around, from the front here, right underneath the license plate. All right, so this side will be your sounds. This side is your lights. So hit the first button. you got your sound effects. All right. And then the sound effects power down. So you got your first cycle of lights. All right. Which is your headlamps, your emergency flashers, and then around to the back, you got your rear lights. All right. After that, I think there's a couple of cycles. Next cycle is your rear lights. All right. After that, turns off your rear lights. On. There we go. Now you got all your, top lights on. You got your flashing lights. That light. There should be the two in the front. All right. And now you turn on your sounds. All right. As you notice, the spot comes on too. You got the light up here that's on. All right. This one flashes. All right. Come around to the back here. You can see these ones flashing. All right. You got your rear lights. Look at it from this side. All right. And then around to the front again. All right. We're going to turn the sounds off because after a while that gets a little bit on the annoying side. All right. So that's with everything on. And then I think the last one is to turn it off. Yep. So that's all the lights. The lights work really cool. I do like the lights on this. All right. So now we're going to go through all the play features and all the cool stuff for this. All right. So one thing I did forget is that she also comes with a set of books. All right. That too, you could just have her hold it like that. Here, let's put her up front. So if you want her to hold the books, she can. So that's worth noting. All right. These over here. You have the gurney here. Should fold open. All right. Why is that not coming out? Ah, there it goes. All right. So you got your gurney here. It rolls back and forth. Take his pack off. All right. Today, our Ghostbusters is going to be Louis Telly because we have no others. All right. And this is supposed to hook onto here. Just like that. So that's your pack on there. And what's that supposed to do is, all right, come around here. Get the back of her. All right. Open up the door. The gurney is supposed to come right up in here. Technically, these legs should fold up on their own, but and then that's supposed to roll right back up in here. And that pack needs to come down like that. There we go. Boom. Spin her around like this so you can see it a little bit better. Pack is in there. Close it up. Now you can put your Ghostbuster packs in there. All right. This top turret does move. All right. So if you want that to move around in whatever position, you can. All right. This door opens. So if you want to get Ghostbusters or whoever in there through that door, you can. All right. Come around to this side. All right. This door opens. And then this door opens. So all your doors do open on this, which is really nice. Except for that ladder getting in the way. All right. So now we're going to take a look at some of the play features on the inside. And I just get that. So let's get these cords out of the way. This should just pop right up and out. Take this hose off here. Get that off of there. Alright. There we go. Alright. So now the top pops off. Alright, so now let's see how well the actual figure works in here. So we're going to start on this side. So we're going to open up this door. And we're going to proceed to get our Buster in here. Now, once again, we don't have any of the real Ghostbusters. We only have good old Lewis here. Alright. So his legs do move awkwardly. But he can sit there. Alright, let's move the car around so you can see him in there. So he will sit there. It's probably going to be a bear trying to get two Ghostbusters in there. And the door shuts and he should be fine in there. Alright. And now for the driver's side. Alright. Spin this around this way. So let's see how well we could get him in on the driver's side. Alright. Extend the legs forward. Alright. Alright, he fits pretty well in here. Alright, it's not hard at all to get his hands on the steering wheel. So if you look at it from here, you can definitely see the hands on the steering wheel. If you want him to hold the phone in there, you could probably do that as well with no issues. Here, let's see if we can get that phone in his hand. Alright. I ain't trying to get that phone in his hand. Alright, so there you go. He will hold that phone. All you have to do is reconnect it in there, and then if you want to make a phone call inside or whatever, you can. So, matter of fact, got him sitting here. Hook it up. Alright, so he is holding it. So that is doable. So, he can interact with everything that's in here. No issues. Alright, I'm liking how the inside of this looks. The lights work great. So, so far, so good. So now, here's something I discovered on my own for all you Mondo fans. So all of you guys who are into the Mondo figures, your real Ghostbuster figures will work with this Ecto-1. Alright, so like everybody else, right now I only have Peter and I have Egon. Egon being the tallest is a little bit hard to get inside, but because his canopy comes off, you can actually get him in there pretty easily. Alright. So let's take his legs. Alright. Get his arms up. Slip him in through the top here. Alright. His hand on that steering wheel. Alright. So as you can see, Egon does fit in there. He actually fits in there. His hair's a little high. But, once you put the canopy on, you're not going to notice. We're going to put Peter in the back here. Alright. So now they are a little bit taller than, your other Ghostbusters would be. Just trying to get his legs up so he actually fits. So boom, Peter does fit in there. Like I said, they're a hair big, but it works. All right, and now check this out. So now you got your gurney. All right. Get this gurney up. All right. Got your proton pack here. Get that over like that. Boom. Fits on there like a glove. So now, spin this around this way. So you can get a good look at the back. Shut Peter in here. All right, open up the door. Let's see if this will actually fit in there. Get that cord down. Boom. So the real Ghostbusters pack actually fits in there. Now, here's the real deal. Let's see if the top will come down on these guys. So like I said, they're a hair bigger than, you know, your Hasbro figures. All right. Now this thing always gives us a problem because the cord for the, you know, thing gets all tangled up in everything. There we go. All right, so his head isn't hitting. How about Peter's head? Is Peter's head hitting? Nope. His head ain't hitting either. All right. Boom. So now you have your real Ghostbusters in there. So as you look at the front, you can see Egon in there. And in the back, well, you can't see him very well, you got Peter. So that's pretty wicked that your real Ghostbuster figures will work with this. So that's pretty neat. I do like that a lot. All right, so let's get into my final thoughts with this. So first off, let's talk about the figure. Overall, he isn't a bad figure. I feel like they should have put more work into this figure. All right, as in, you know, covering up the pinholes. I mean, this is a 300 plus set. You know, you're paying that kind of money, you should get the top quality figure. I feel like he should also have lenses in there as well. You know, just these little details. The same with the pack. The pack, I feel like it could have done with a little bit more detail. Once again, this isn't just your off-the-shelf set. This is a exclusive set that people paid a lot of money for. So those are minor things, but they're things I felt like they should have had on this figure. All right, so that's him. Next, you got the Ghost. All right, Ghost I love. I think the Ghosts look great. I think Slimer looks good. His points of articulation is a little off, but, you know, he's oddly shaped, so that makes sense. The Librarian, I love the overall look to her, though I wish she actually had a transformation spot so you could get like the scary head and upper body. I think that's something that they should have added to her, but I do like the whole translucent look to her. I think she looks great. So these two, I don't have any issues with them. You know, back to Lewis here. All his joints do work very well. I don't have any issues with his joints. So I did want to make that known. Now we get into Ecto-1. All right. Overall, this thing went together pretty easily. No issues with putting it together. The lights and everything work really well. The figure that it does come with does sit in there pretty easily. I don't have any issues with him at this point. The lights and sounds work great. I do like that. I am disappointed that it doesn't come with a power cord. Once again, and I've said this over and over in this video, for what we're paying for this, they could have at least afforded to give us a little cord to hang out the back to, you know, run the lights and stuff. You know, they're not that expensive. You know, that should have been a little extra bonus put into this, you know. So that is also another big disappointment. Another one of the disappointments to it is the stickers. Yeah, you can put the stickers on. Some of them are very easy, like the Ghostbuster logo, the license plates. But some of these can be a little bit hard, like the ones on the lamps, the lights and what have you. Somebody like me who's been putting stickers on shouldn't have a problem. But if you're a collector who ain't good with that, you're going to wind up having some crooked stickers on this thing, which I'm sure would upset you because, well, you paid a lot of money for this thing. You shouldn't have to be putting stickers on. All right. The detail is beautiful on this. I love the overall attention to detail on this. Everything from the inside of the hood to the inside of the car to the outside, everything looks great. I love the overall look. I like how easily this canopy comes off. Because obviously this is going to come on and off because when you get the next wave for this, it's going to have the Ghostbuster 2 piece that's going to pop on here. So we're going to see how all that works. So that's mostly it. It rolls fine. The doors open up good, no issues. The gurney fits well in the back. The one pack I did have for it fit on there nicely, so that wasn't an issue. So as a Ghostbuster movie vehicle, okay, so this is the Ecto-1 from the first movie. As for the Ecto-1 for that, this thing is outstanding. I would recommend this. Now, one of my biggest pet peeves with this is the hood. All right. Instead of giving you actual vents on the hood, they give you stickers. And that kind of annoys me because, once again, we paid a lot of money for this thing. You should at least get hood vents. The smaller one does for the 3 3/4 figures, does actually have those hood vents. So if they could have, take the time to put it on that, they could have took the time to put it on this one too. So to me, that is a huge disappointment with this. And that's, probably my biggest pet peeve with this is that you don't have those vents on this hood. They should have been part of the mold. There's no reason for us to get stickers for that because that's something that stickers don't fly with, in my book anyway. So that was probably my biggest annoyance with this. Other than that, everything else is great. And the extra bonus to it, as I showed, for all of you Mondo fans, you can get your Mondo, real Ghostbusters in here. So if you want them to work with this, you can as well. As you saw, the pack fits really well with the gurney. The figures do fit in here. You may have to work them a little bit because they're a hair too big. Literally. As in, their hair is what makes it a little difficult to get them in here. But once you work them out a little bit, they sit in there fine. It's just a matter of getting that angle, especially with Egon because he is the tallest of them. So you'd be the harder one to get in there. But as you see, you play with it for a minute, you can get your real Ghostbuster figures in here as well. So that's real nice. So if you want to display this with, your Ghostbuster movie figures from Hasbro, or if you want to display it with your real Ghostbusters from Mondo, you can use this either way. And that's an extra bonus in my book. So overall, once again, would highly recommend this if you got it. Yeah, there's some pet peeves I have with it that I think they should have did better because of the price point. Like if this wasn't so expensive, my problems with this wouldn't be major problems. But it's an exclusive, it's an expensive piece. I feel like there's no reason for those issues. So with that being said, the first thing I want to do is give a shout out to all the people who support this channel. First on that list is Byron Bassett and his alter ego, Humongous. He's a big supporter of the channel. He helps out with a lot of things with it, and he's very much appreciated. He does have his own YouTube channel and show that he does every Sunday. So go ahead and check that out. All his information is in the description. The same with Action Figure Geeks. They're a Reddit group that I'm part of that really supports his channel. All their information is in the description as well. Plus, check out my Ghostbuster playlist and check out my membership program. Plus, hit that like, share, and subscribe. They're all small clicks for you, but it really helps his channel grow. So, into the next one. Late.